Sutton, Chief Academic Officer here for Hardin County Schools. I want to welcome everybody back to our Impacting Learning and Empowering Students session here this month, here in the month of December. So it's going to be a great session today. We've got our new Middle School Director of Curriculum Instruction Assessment here with us today, and we want all of our fans out there of Hardin County Schools to know about this new position that we created here for Hardin County Schools. And we want you to know about this position because it's not just so much that she's going to be impacting the middle schools here in our district, but this new person, Kristins Background, is going to be impacting our entire district with curriculum instruction assessment and just having an impact not only on our teachers but our students, and she's been in our community a long time. So thank you for joining us here today, and we're glad to have you out there with us. So Kristen, great to have you here today. Just going to let you kind of talk to us about your educational background, your teaching, your work experience here in Hardin County Schools. Tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me, Greg.
All right.
My experience with Hardin County Schools has really come full circle. I feel I was a student in Hardin County Schools. I had the opportunity to do my cadet teaching in Hardin County Schools, my student teaching with Hardin County Schools, and then I got my teaching career in Hardin County Schools, and now as a parent, my child attends Hardin County Schools. So I feel that this has really provided me with a big perspective, a big view of our school system, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. My educational endeavors, as far as my teaching passion, really started as early as my junior or senior year in high school, because I attended Central Hardin High School and had the opportunity to do the cadet teaching program there.
Okay.
So those hands-on teaching experiences really allowed me to see that that was what I wanted to do with my life. And so upon graduating from WKU, I was allowed to teach in Hardin County Schools, and since then I have served as a middle school teacher and an assistant principal, and then this new role that I'm super excited about. So I just want to thank all of my wonderful colleagues and the mentors that I've met through Hardin County Schools along the way. It really is a great district to work for.
Now, if you're out here joining us here today, I want you to hear what she just said. You know, she was a cadet teacher during her time at Central Hardin High School as a student, and that's kind of like a teaching and learning pathway where some of our students that are in high school get a chance to get out in classrooms, do some observations, see what it's like to be a teacher, see what it's like to have that passion to be in a classroom, to instruct. And you kind of saw then, hey, this is what I think I want to do as my career, and that's what prompted you to go on to college, come back to Hardin County Schools. Another thing I want to say, she came back to her hometown. She came back here to serve our district in these capacities, and that's why I'm saying she came back as a middle school teacher, middle school assistant principal. She has a great knowledge of the curriculum for middle schools, and that's why we hired her in this position. We were able to branch off. You remember here a few months ago on Impact Learning and Empowering Students, we had Tanya Corder here as our high school curriculum instruction and assessment director. We now have a middle school director as well. So we're really able to kind of focus on each individual area, let them focus on the students and teachers at that level, provide the support they need. That's really important for us moving forward. So thank you for sharing that with us. And during your years in education, you've probably already seen a difference in how we instruct students. I guess I should ask, have you seen a difference in the skills that our students are going to need to be successful in the workforce over the next 50 years? What are you seeing out there, Kristen?
Absolutely. You know, I think that the traditional classroom and an iconic image or view of that would be from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And that's just not what we see in our classrooms anymore. From input from our teachers and what they've noticed about student learning and our community members and our business partners, we realize that we have to instruct in a different way. And those leaders have talked to us about soft skills that they want our students to be possessing upon graduation so that they're employable and ready to go to college. And we've listened to those things. They've talked to us about their ability to communicate and problem solve and critical thinking and just work ethic in general. Hardin County Schools has done a great job at working towards the work ethic standards and providing a curriculum that we use in our middle schools to address that. But we have also talked about these jobs that these students are going to be applying for are jobs that may not exist right now and may not have existed whenever we graduated. And so we are really taking that input from our community members as far as what we can do to better prepare our students for what the real world is going to look like for them when they graduate. And our classrooms look different as well. In that traditional classroom sense, our teachers may have used a whole lot of whole group instruction, but they've realized that small group and centers and providing that real world connection for our students is really what engages our middle schoolers. They need to understand why they're learning what they're learning and how they can apply that once they leave the classroom. And then in more recent years, I think that we've seen a deeper need for social emotional learning, and we're addressing that in our middle schools as well. We have Wellness Wednesdays, and we have lessons that are geared specifically towards teaching our students about coping and stress and relationships and all those things that we've noticed over the past few years that are a need for them as well.
And the thing is, we're listening to our community. Our community is about ready to potentially see some growth with the Ford battery plant coming in, sister corporations coming in with that, community growth. What are those jobs going to be? What pathways do we need to have in our schools, and what skills do our students need to be successful in those jobs? That's some things we have to think about.
That's
and
right.
how we're instructing our kids, and what we're asking from them as a portrait of a graduate, their individual learning plans, everything that we're doing from our Tassel app, to have them reflect on future careers and how to develop those skills they need for their future career, and have them think about those things. It's all coming full circle for us, and it's more prevalent than it's ever been.
Yes, it is.
And where we're at with this right now. So recently you served as the assistant principal of West Hardin Middle School. Tell us a little bit about your experience at West Hardin Middle School and how you used that position to impact teaching and learning, and how this experience helped prepare you for this new role that you're in now as the Middle School Director of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment.
Yes, so I had the wonderful opportunity to serve the West Hardin community for 4 years as assistant principal. And I think that a lot of people think of the middle school or high school assistant principal as the disciplinarian. And while I did a lot of that, my main goal, and I hope that the majority of my time was spent in supporting our teachers and also fostering that culture of learning within the building for staff and for students. And so administrators wear many hats at all levels they do. We serve on committees at both the district level and the school level. We also may create budgets that support teaching and learning. We make hiring decisions. We involve our parents. We try to get them to come in and see what their students are learning and how they can be supportive of that. Even down to the resources that we select for our teachers to use and with our students, we are impacting teaching and learning. But as an assistant principal, I also had the opportunity to work with our new teachers, and I feel that that's been very beneficial in my job this year, as we have close to 150 new teachers in our district. And so meeting with them and interviewing them and learning what we can do as a district to support them. A lot of them have not had a lot of experience in the classroom setting if they're an Option 6 teacher. And so we're learning what we can do to support them to better our students, better our classrooms. And so I'm really just here to work with them and work for our schools as a support system.
I can just say, since probably July, August, since you started your new role, we're in December now, watching you with the middle school principals. We have 5 middle schools out there, for those of you that don't know. That's 5 principals. That's 5 assistant principals at these middle schools. That's multiple counselors at these middle schools. Obviously, multiple new teachers, multiple new SPED teachers. So a lot of support needed in the middle school level. And I'm sure when you came in, I've watched you in these meetings, with the principals, and you're starting to talk about things that you want to, work on as a middle school PLC moving forward. Just talk about some of those short-term and long-term goals that you've talked about with the principals on where you all want to go together as a team.
Right. So I think right away, whenever I first got the job, my goal was to get to know the schools better, all 5 middle schools and their principals. And I sat down with each of them and talked about what processes they have in place and what their goals are for their school and how I can support that. And then as the school year started, that moved to meeting with their staff and talking to them, talking to the new teachers and the veteran teachers. But really, I wanted to capitalize on the great things that are going on in our classrooms at the middle school level and at all levels. So we had created our Instructional Services Department Facebook page, and I just wanted our community and other teachers to see the great things that are going on in our middle school classrooms. And so any opportunity we have to share that, we want everybody to be knowledgeable about the wonderful opportunities that our students are being provided. And so with this role, I've also been able to work with the administrators on evaluations and creating the CSIP for their school as we look at what goals they have moving forward. And so I've been trying to learn more about that process and how I can support them in those endeavors and to get feedback from them on how we can better that process for Hardin County schools, and to support our teachers, teacher feedback about our evaluation process as well and the feedback that we are providing. But ultimately, as I do a lot of reflection on what we've experienced as a school district over the past 2 years, I think that we have a lot of work to do in moving forward and to get that refocus on reimagining what our schools can look like and figuring out what are our next steps and what are our plans to re-engage our students. I think that our teachers and our administrators worked harder than ever before with the pandemic, and we need to regain that momentum that we were having before we hit that time. And so a lot of my goals have been centered around that, and our conversations have been centered around where do we go from here, what are we seeing, and how can we refocus our classroom instruction at the middle school level.
And I think that's kind of takes us on to our next question here of student growth. You know, that's been a big topic of discussion. Everybody deserves 1 year of growth in reading and math, and that's a hot topic across the nation of how we're going to grow students. And you know, some of these students do have a gap coming out of the pandemic. You know, we're not expecting teachers to make up a 2 or 3 year gap. That's an unfair task. We're just asking students that come in for our teachers to work with them with the best instructional strategies, give them their best every day, and say, can we grow that student from where we received them this year, 1 instructional year? That's the ultimate goal. Talk about some things you're doing, you know, on student growth and to monitor that progress this year.
Absolutely. So Hardin County Schools has recently changed from MAP to our iReady diagnostic, and I think that was an excellent change because it provides us with so much more detailed information. So our students take this diagnostic 3 times a year as they did with MAP. We'll take it in the fall, the winter, and the spring. And so our fall assessment has already been administered at this time. And we're really diving into those reports with principals and teachers. And we're seeing that it is providing us with more information than ever before. It breaks it down, the reading and the math content areas, into domains. And it gives us a list of skills that our students have mastered and what our next steps are. And I feel that iReady offers us a new avenue that we hadn't experienced before in that it provides a lot of instructional supports for our teachers. And so they're given instructional grouping reports and differentiated text to use with their students and lessons to use for small groups and stations. And I think that that's very beneficial. Our teachers have given us great feedback on that program. And the next level that it goes to for our students is that it provides that individualized learning path, which is called the My Path lesson plans. And those students get in and they work on lessons that are specific to them based on what we've seen from their diagnostic scale score. And they work towards their growth goal. And so our teachers and administrators, and I've been working with them to support the one-on-one goal setting conferences that we're having with them, where we're able to discuss with students, this was our scale score in the beginning, here's our My Path lessons, where do we want to be, and how does that help us achieve our goals in the future? And so we're spending a lot of time talking about that diagnostic as it is new to us, and we're learning every day with it. I've attended trainings with our teachers as they learn from iReady so that I can better support them. We've also implemented a new decile chart this year, and what that does is it really helps us see where our students are, what they've mastered, and devise a specific plan for each band of students or each group of students to support their learning. If we need interventions to put in place for those things, that's where we're looking at with this decile chart. And so the conversations around those areas have been great, given that our K-Prep data from last year was limited because of COVID and the pandemic, and so iReady has been a great resource to us this year as we figure out our next steps for teaching our students.
So parents, if you're listening out there, it's December, so in January 5th to the 24th in grades K through 9, they're going to be taking their winter iReady diagnostic, so we're pretty excited about that. You'll get a chance to see the growth your student is making that we've been talking about here. So, and talking about the next thing, we got middle schoolers out there this week right now visiting EC3, talking about those 38 pathways, getting ready for that January one-on-one scheduling with those high school counselors. These eighth graders are getting ready. So what are some things we got going on with pathways? I know we only got about 3 or 4 minutes here left. Just give us a quick overview of some of the things going on with the pathways here.
Absolutely. So our middle schools have a new enrichment teacher position, and we're really working with those teachers to talk about authentic learning opportunities that connect to the 38 pathways. And so with those 38 pathways, our students are educated in their careers classes that are offered at the middle school level. And by the time they leave middle school, they will have exposure to all 38 pathways. We lead a lot of this learning through the Tassel platform, and so students are able to go in and take a interest inventory, figure out what they're interested in, explore these pathways that are connected to their interest. But we also, within Tassel, allow them to build a profile or a resume, if you will, where they start documenting things that they're achieving at this level, awards that they're receiving, clubs that they're in, work ethic goals that they have met, volunteer hours. And so our students, when they get to high school, will have this compilation of all of these things that they have worked for, and that will be a great asset for them when they go to apply to a college or for a job. But we also, at the middle school level, connected to our pathways and our careers classes, are using the Dave Ramsey Financial Literacy Curriculum. And so our teachers have done a great job providing those foundational skills for basic money management for our students, and budgeting, and talking about taxes and loans and debts and all of those skills that we want our students to be able to possess when they graduate. And we're so excited to provide that, as it gives a real personal impact for them moving forward in their life.
Very excited. And real quick, if you can just give a little bit about the project-based learning that we're moving toward with our middle schools, and just give us a quick 1-minute overview on how that's going for us so far.
Yeah, so project-based learning is being piloted at Bluegrass Middle School this year, but all of our middle schools and all of our schools are starting to learn how can we reimagine what experiences we provide to our students so that it's more student-centered. It's student-centered in that we are providing them meaningful opportunities that connect to what's going on in our community. So we've partnered with New Tech Network and Discovery Education, and they've really been helping us lead this learning for our teachers. And we're really excited about where we're going with this. Our students can already attest to the differences that they see in their classrooms where project learning is taking place.
Well, I'm very excited about these initiatives we got going here in Hardin County Schools, especially the project-based learning. We get that going in all 5 middle schools by this summer, and next year at the middle schools, and filter that into our high schools a little bit and back down to the elementary schools over the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be some great learning opportunities for our students. So
It is. I'm excited.
Appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us here on Impacting Learning and Empowering Students. Hope you'll stick with us right now after this segment here, because we're going to be rolling another segment here with Stacy Bronner, our elementary school director of curriculum instruction assessment. You're going to see her speaking at the board meeting here in October about reading counts and accelerated reader. These are programs that we use to encourage reading and reading comprehension at the elementary schools, where kids read and accumulate points and earn prizes and rewards. And we were able to actually celebrate with some of our students at the board meeting that month. So enjoy that segment as well. And thank you for joining us here again today, Kristen. We appreciate you. Glad you're on board with our instructional service department team. You're doing great things, and keep doing what you're doing. So see you next time. Thank you.
If anyone knows me, they know about how passionate I am about the programs that we're getting ready to feature here tonight, and that is our Reading Counts program and our Accelerated Reader program. And the way this program works, it is a computerized, basically a comprehension test, and students get to choose books based on their interest levels and their independent reading levels, and they work go toward a goal that is a set. It can be an individual goal. Some schools set like classroom goals. I used this program, the Accelerated Reader program, when I was teaching, and what I would see happen, which is the beautiful thing about this program, is that my readers who love to read were always reading. But it also motivated those students who didn't really enjoy picking up a book to read, because they were working toward a goal. And so sometimes it just took to find the love of that particular author to grab them, and then they would make lifelong readers. So I think that gives them an opportunity to stay with a book and then become much better readers, because they're doing it at night and anytime they finish their work. So it was that supplemental program. We're going to take a minute to watch a video, let you see one of our schools, GC Burkhead, and how they utilize the Reading Counts program. And then we've got some students here that we want to acknowledge their accomplishments with this program. So if Mr. Wright, if you will get us going. This is Miss Wills and Ms. Nichols and their views on the Reading Counts, and you'll get to see some children participating in this program.
I'm Elisa Nichols, and I am the second grade teacher here at GC Burkhead, one of the second grade teachers, and I'm also the ESL Collab Room. I use the program in my classroom. I have since I started teaching. I see the benefits and the rewards of the program. Scholastic Reading Counts, I can allow my students to take their book test in the morning, and then I use it as an independent center during reading groups. It allows the students to read independently. It works on their skills that we teach them during reading, but they're able to apply all of those skills themselves over the course of reading a book that they're interested in. It is ability grouped. In other words, I can have a beginning reader that is working on sight words, reading a book independently and taking a book test over it, but they're having to infer what is happening in the book. They're having to take those strategies that we've taught them in reading and apply them in the book to pass the book. They enjoy it. It's very teacher friendly. I can go in as the ELL teacher. I can print off the reports in different languages to the parents. It allows the parents to see these are the type of books the kids are reading. So maybe you should choose these books to buy for them or to go to the public library and get for them because these are their interest. It can give up to date how many books they've taken and passed. Are they struggling in this particular area? It's just very student friendly and teacher friendly, and it's proven itself in the classroom. I see great growth in my students from the beginning of second grade to the end of second grade in their comprehension. I cannot imagine not having this program in my classroom.
Hi, I'm Rachel Will. I'm a second grade teacher at GC Burkhead. I'm talking to you about how we use the Scholastic Reading Counts program and also how we use the Scholastic Reading Inventory along with the Scholastic Reading Counts program. So the SRIs we refer to is a Lexile-based test that the students take. It tells us the students' independent reading level. So basically it's giving us their exact level of what they can comprehend independently without assistance, and how we then take that score. And the test itself actually asks a lot of inferencing-based questions like drawing conclusions and that kind of thing. It's very great at letting us know their independent reading level. So we use that so that we know exactly what level books then they need that they can understand independently. So along with the SRI, when we give that test, what's awesome about that is being able to see their Lexile growth as they read the testing books and they comprehend these books. We see that level increase dramatically. It has proven itself time and time again that great growth that that happens from them just being able to read books and then take these tests. Their eyes light up when they pass the test. It's pretty awesome to see that. And then when the kids are reading books and taking tests, when they pass, they put up a sticker. So we have a reading goal in second grade here at GC Burkhead for 40 books for the year, which when I first say that to the kids, they always are like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. And it does sound like a lot. It ends up being about 10 books in 9 weeks, which really, if you take that and make a smaller goal, and we already have kids who are almost close to 10 books, and then we've only been in school a month. So they're doing awesome with that. They love it. They love when they pass to go put a sticker up. And then also with my class, and I know Miss McNichols' class as well, when they do pass, her class, I think they get a gummy worm. My kids, I give them a gummy bear. It says you're a very good reader. And so they get a little gummy bear. They have a spot on the board that they put their name to let me know that they've taken a test and passed. And it's just a little reward we do for their effort and their work. And we're just always super proud of them and in their reading comprehension, and just seeing that improve dramatically over time and as they take tests and that. So another reward that we have for our students with the Reading Counts program is once they make their reading goal of 40 books, then what we do is we have a big luau party. We have a reading awards program where we celebrate their success of meeting their goal. And then we have a day of celebration where we get to enjoy our time together and celebrate their success in reading. And we even give out a trophy to the overall best reader in second grade where that improvement has happened. And then also we give out medals for our students who, we give out a medal for the most books read in each class, the most words read in each class because the program does count how many words. And then also the most improved and the highest testing average. And those are awesome things to celebrate with the kids. We love the Scholastic Reading Counts program here at GC Burkhead. It is so beneficial to the students to see their growth as they grow as young readers, just to see that joy of reading. It helps them develop their interest levels because they're exposed to so many genres of books, and it is just an absolute joy to see their reading comprehension improve and then also just their spark of reading.
Tonight we have with us a few students here from each one of our schools that is using the Accelerated Reader Program or the Reading Counts program. So as we call their name, we'd like for them to come up, and Mr. Sutton's going to present them.
I just want to say these kids are the top readers so far in the school year. I say it's like you're running the Indianapolis 500, you're on lap like 125 in the lead. You know what I'm saying? You got a long way to go. It's right. You want to stay in the lead, right? You want to be the winner at the end of the year. Okay, keep reading those books, doing a great job for us. Proud of you guys. I want to recognize you all not here with a digital bookmark and a certificate for your hard work. Broke my heart during the pandemic that when we had to shut down schools back in the spring of 2020 that we sent kids home. You guys did not have access to a library. You didn't have access to that book you could hold in your hands and read that book, then go and take that test on it and have all these great opportunities. And that's back for us, and that's why we're excited. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for putting in the time, and you're getting the reward you deserve. So excited about recognizing you guys tonight. Just come on up here to the front and make sure you can stand up there so we can get your picture. So thank you all principals, librarians for pushing these programs. Encourage these kids to get those books back in their hands and reading for us. Thank you, Ms. Brunner.
Okay, our Cecilia Valley person, our student with the most points is Ms. Kennedy Smith. Next, with Creekside, we have Miss Addison Phillips. GC Burkhead, we have Elizabeth Harden. With Heartland Elementary, we have Lucy Malone. With Lakewood Elementary, we have Rachel Nall. Lincoln Trail Elementary, Piper Midler. Meadowview Elementary, we have Natalie, I hope I don't mispronounce this, Matier. This is another name I hope I get close to. Hadassah Varner. That was New Highland. I'm sorry. I was so focused on the name. Radcliffe Elementary, we have Landon Smith. Vine Grove, we have Sophia Jones. And our last school, Woodland Elementary, we have Cameron Wagster. Congratulations, you guys. This is a big accomplishment. Keep going, and we hope that you continue to stay in the lead with your reading counts and your accelerated reader program.